You're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Bon Beanie. Welcome to us being live finally.
Merry 2025.
We are alive. Cheers. That looks like
I was
mud.
gonna say that's a weird color.
It's mud. It's Mississippi mud.
We got the captain with us today.
That's actually a good name for that drink, but I don't really love it, so too bad. Yep.
He won't stay all night.
No, he's real little. You can probably barely see him. Turn him around so they can see how red he is. There. The first time he was on, which was a few weeks ago, he was in shed, so he's finished that shed. He's probably going to start a new one soon, though.
Yep, there he is. Where are you going? Don't run off my hand. No.
He's still learning how to do the live streams.
Yeah. He's so little. Look how little he is.
Yeah, he's little, but he eats like 12 crickets a day and a salad some days too.
Yeah. You want to hold him?
Hey, buddy. Are you going to be my friend? Are you going to be their friend? Just a friend. Well, let's say some hellos to people.
All right. We've got Cruise Nuts here. Hello.
Hey, Cruise Nuts.
And Stacy.
Hello, Stacy.
Stacy says, it's been so long, you guys should probably introduce yourself.
Right? No kidding.
There's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
And Les says, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Les. It's been a year since I've seen you.
I know. Haven't seen you since last year. That joke is so dumb.
It is, I know, but I say it every year.
But we still do it.
Yeah. All right, Captain, you want to go? He's squirming. He's a squirmy wormy.
You want me to put him back?
You want to go do the exchange?
I can do that.
Get the girl out?
Yep. Oh, you just ran over my toe. That hurt.
You were walking the other way. How did I do that? Anyway, yes, we are back. It was a long vacation, and we enjoyed seeing our families. I guess it's a family now, but that was good. That was good. We had some drama. We had some illness. We had some stressors. Some are still happening, but we had fun seeing family and stuff. So that's good. Let's see. Let's sing Happy New Year, everyone. Stacy saying hello to the captain. We'll pass that on for you there, Stacy. Les is asking, how is everyone's holidays? Well, oh, here comes the
You move the keyboard.
The girl here. Move that out of the way. She'll start typing. She just starts typing, you know. But you know what? For as young as she is, she can actually type on a typewriter. Most kids can't do that these days. Marty did not have a very exciting holiday. Well, that's not completely true. I mean, she stayed in Florida, which
big old shed right there.
Was a lot warmer. And
is she seeable?
Barely. There we go. Whoa.
There we go. How about that?
That works. And our friend Steve was coming over, and yeah, do you know that name? And he was taking care of the animals. They don't need a lot of care, you know. Every few days he'd come over and just make sure everybody had water and feed the lizards and stuff like that. So
she gave me the eye. Look at that.
I mean, that piece has been there for a while, though.
Yeah, she was tucked away in a corner. It was kind of weird, but let me get this piece. Thanks. Did you say hi to Anita?
No, I did not. I don't think she was there yet.
And Stacy says hi to Marty. And Les says, boy, Marty is big. Yeah, Marty probably needs to poo or something.
Marty needs to work out and go on a diet.
Don't look at me like that. He's the one saying it.
Yeah, we're going to have to, I mean.
Like she exploded with chunkiness real fast.
That's because she hit her adult length, and now she's growing out.
Is that what it is?
Yes. But she is a little overweight. I've seen much thicker dragons, but yeah, we are going to start curbing her diet a little bit, which you wouldn't think you'd have to. She doesn't eat that much, but she did when she was little. But at this size, it don't take much when all you do is sit around and watch TV.
Well,
trust me, I know.
Well, she's going to start working out with me.
Is she?
Yeah. She can stand on the treadmill while I walk on it. That shed here.
Anyway, she has a New Year's resolution, and that's to lose 4 grams. Probably more than 4.
I'll stop picking at you. Okay. Anita says, did you get your moonroof fixed yet? Oh, there's a whole story we'll tell y'all.
Yeah, that's one of the stressors that continues.
Yeah. Hi there, Gina.
Hey, Gina.
And there's Paul. Hey there, Paul.
Hey there, Paul.
Les says, I am big too. I need to poo. Gina says, I found out at Christmas that I'm going to have a second grandbaby.
Oh,
that's
okay. Well, congratulations on that. That's cool. So our trip. Should we talk about our trip?
Sure.
We left the Thursday before Christmas.
Yep.
And we worked that Thursday, and then we left after work. We took off early, about 3 p.m. We drove to the wee hours of the night into Clarksville, Tennessee.
Hey, look who that is.
Hello there, Viviana.
Hey there, Viviana. See you tomorrow.
And then we got up in the morning and we started driving. Well, Kimber started driving into Kentucky when suddenly, lo and behold, our moonroof exploded for no apparent reason. Well, I'm sure there was a reason. It just wasn't apparent, like I said. So there we are in the middle of Kentucky with a very loud, scary explosion. And fortunately, we had the shade thing over, so we didn't get showered in glass. But we pulled over to the next exit, which there was nothing there but a truck stop. So we scrounged for some cardboard. We bought some tape, and we MacGyvered a thing to get us 3.5 hours to Terre Haute?
3.5 more hours. Yep.
And it was loud, but it wasn't cold, but it was loud, and we got there. So, and then we got it patched up better for the rest of the drive. And then today, finally, we had to call the dealership and have them order the part. So today, they got the part in. We called a few days ago, and they said to bring it in this morning. So we brought it in this morning. And basically, the way this works is Kia has to do an investigation. So they have to send the information to Kia from the dealership. And then Kia will decide whether it's a randomly exploding moonroof on a less than 2-year-old vehicle meets the warranty. There were no vehicles around us. It was low elevation. I'm hoping that answer is yes. But anyway, we don't know when we're going to find that out. Maybe early next week is what we're guessing at this point. So we don't have a car. We have a scooter, but of course it's been
it's like the coldest weekend so far.
It's going to be, I don't know what we're going to do for work, because it's going to be highs in the low 50s, I think, on Monday and Tuesday. So yeah. So then hopefully it'll get covered by the warranty. If not, then I guess they try and take it to insurance, and then after that, I don't know what happens. But so that's the drama there. So let's get past that, because I'm not past it. And then we visited.
Can I
sure.
say a couple comments here?
Go ahead.
Anita says, I was late because Grandpa and the children were playing ball in the house, which Grandma said not to do, and knocked over my drink. Needless to say, they are all in trouble.
Is one of them a snake? Because that happens. Is a snake knocks over my drinks?
I would say it's probably a woodworker.
Oh, she's watching me too.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's funny.
She's like, "What do you got to drink this week?"
Anita says, "Loving your hair, Kimber. Thanks. I brushed it." Ed says Bigfoot threw a rock for driving too fast. I can't read.
Yeah, if they say that
Ed's in timeout.
If they say that it isn't covered because it potentially was from an impact, I'm gonna have to get some details on how they think it was.
Yeah, impacted. Show us where that impact happened because there was nobody around.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so then we made it to Indiana, and that was fun. We hung out we went shopping a lot with Kimber's mom because that's what we do in Indiana. And we had food. They had good food in Indiana. We had the state food, which unofficial state food, which is apparently a deep fried pork sandwich, right? Pork steak sandwich.
Pork tenderloin.
Pork tenderloin. Pardon me. Which was good.
So here's what I'm going to tell you is, it was good, but when I was growing up, when I remember like the meat was like this big where the bread was like this. So it was like,
I mean, it was bigger than the bun.
But usually it's like you could make like 3 sandwiches out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was big enough.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
The one that we had is just different than what I
what
saw
you used
growing
to see.
up. Yeah.
But you had never had one before.
No, I hadn't.
She had never tried it. So we saw on a food channel, like it was the Indiana food. And so we tried it. I enjoyed it.
Viviana says, glad you're safe and sound and back in Tampa to hang out with me. Yeah, we just can't go anywhere. We're stuck.
Well, we got to charge the battery in the scooter.
Yeah, we've got the scooter. So if we want to freeze,
I mean, it's not that bad if it's like during the middle of the day, right? And it's like in the 50s or 60s, true. And we're not going. The thing that is going to be a challenge is if we have to drive in like upper 30s, low 40s for an hour to get to work. That's not going to be fun.
Yeah, we do have gloves now.
Yeah, we have gloves. Yeah,
because we bought gloves.
Something.
Les says sucks on the moonroof. Yep, sure does.
Yeah. Thank you, Les.
Stacy says, tell them you have a YouTube channel, and if they don't pay for it, you'll continuously mention the terrible dealership to everyone.
Stacy, let me just tell you that those conversations have already gone through my brain, and that I'm like, podcast. I mean, I could embellish a lot, but and I don't know if it would be the dealer's fault or Kia's fault. But anyway, I'm going to move on from that because it's a little bit of a sore topic for me right now. So we also had that huge pizza thing.
I got a sweatshirt, my favorite pizza.
Did you do that intentionally?
I sure did.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Yeah, because it's a little warm in here, and I still made the choice to wear this because Maurizio's, the best pizza in Terre Haute.
Yeah.
So good, I bought a sweatshirt.
Wow. What else did we do in Indiana?
We saw Nan.
Yeah, we got to see your family, your grandma, Nan.
Yeah.
We got to spend some time with her. It was good. And more of your family too. And
yep.
A friend of your family's who
we got to see
helped
Ashley.
us patch the window, which was very much appreciated.
Spent some time with Ashley.
Yeah. And that actually
had turned into something.
Changed our trajectory quite a bit.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Ashley is a very good friend of mine that I met when I worked at the Indianapolis Zoo.
So it's right in my face. It's like if I had food stuck in my teeth, I could just.
Ashley's one of those people that like you might not talk to very often, but when you do, like it's like no time has passed. And Matt even likes her.
I like Ashley a lot. Yeah.
Ashley's great. And
I like most of your friends that I've met, I like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't dislike any of them. To be clear, I don't dislike any of the friends you've met. But there have been some that I've been like,
like Viviana.
No, I love Viviana.
He's only saying that because you're here. I'm just kidding. We love Viviana.
No, but most of your friends I've gotten along very well.
And Ashley has little Miss Charlotte, who is 2.5 now, and she's precious. You know, for those that think that I hate children, I don't hate all of them.
Just most of them.
Charlotte's precious, though, is she not?
I would say Charlotte is precious. Yes, I would agree with that. as long as I'm not responsible for her behavioral, and she's not. I'm not saying anything about
She
her
likes
behavior.
she likes to open and close doors.
Well, no, I wasn't. That wasn't a commentary on her behavior.
She likes to open and close doors.
I'm just saying I don't like to be in charge of 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds when I have to be the one that's in charge of them. If I'm just hanging out with them, then we're good. I can enjoy them in that capacity. If I have to be the rule maker and the enforcer, then I'm not really a big fan of that. But yeah. So we went to Ashley's for an evening, and Ashley has a machine that some of our people that are here are very familiar with, because it cuts things with lasers and engraves things with lasers. And we've gotten stuff from those people, like this coaster that I'm using right now. That of course are the Roddies, who does way more than using a laser cutter. But they have kindly given us several things, like our D&D sign and stuff like that. So anyway, we saw the stuff she was making, and we're like, oh, we should have got one of these for Christmas. But we were getting Universal passes, but then we found out that we wouldn't be able to get into the new park at all, probably. And so I was like, man, we should have done this instead of those. And Kimber's like, well, we haven't actually paid for the Universal pass yet. So we changed our Christmas gift from...
We would have had it, but the issue with like Florida resident passes for like Universal and Disney is if the card that's paying for it doesn't have a Florida billing address, it won't accept it.
Which kind of makes sense.
It does, but it's hard to gift something that way. The same thing happened with Disney. Yeah. So because of that, my mom, instead of paying for it because it declined it, just sent me the money. So I'm like, I have the money.
So yeah, and we talked to her mom about it, and then my mom gave us money, so we had to pull that because it was actually a little bit more than the Universal Pass. So we ordered a laser cutter, which was supposed to be delivered today, but is probably still in Texas. So we haven't gotten it yet, but that was exciting. So we've been doing a lot of laser cutting video stuff, YouTubing and stuff. And then
now it says we'll add a delivery date as soon as your package starts moving.
So it's delayed.
It finally changed.
It's delayed. That's apparently happening to a lot of people. They're getting those, because I've been in some Facebook groups. I guess it's that time of year. Anyway, so then we went to St. Louis. Well, not really. We went through St. Louis to Lynn.
We did stop in St. Louis.
We did stop in St. Louis to see my mom and Joe and my cousins. So that was Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. We left Terre Haute, went over there. And then while we were there, besides getting to see all of them, our friends Charlie and Bev, who, if you followed Cruise Geeks, and even, I don't know if there's been any videos of Charlie and Bev with Fantastic, but there was some of the original Cruise Geeks videos Charlie and Bev were in. Like, Charlie's a diver. I mean, they took me to my first rock concert when I was a kid. They're like in between my mom and me age-wise. So they've always been really good friends of ours. So they surprised us with a visit. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then we were going to get to see Ed and Anita, but that's when, we started on a sour note and then we ended on a sour note because people started getting sick. My mom and Kimber were like fountains on like the wee hours of Friday morning. And Saturday morning. Yeah. Saturday morning, late Friday night,
2 a.m. Saturday.
Yeah, it was a gusher. So we ended up all night until like 6 a.m. I think, before we finally got to bed. And then Anita,
I wouldn't say I really ever went to bed.
Well, yeah.
I told you to go to bed.
Yeah, I slept for a few hours, maybe. So, needless to say, obviously we didn't want Ed and Anita to come out. At the time we thought food poisoning, which I think it was norovirus. So I'm really glad. I mean, I'm really sad that we didn't get to see Ed and Anita, but I'm really glad they didn't come out.
If that's what it was.
Because the next day, Sunday morning, we got up to leave, and my stepdad Joe was sick. So we didn't even get to say goodbye to him because he was sick. He didn't even get up. That's how, and he would have gotten up. So he was really feeling bad. And then we drove straight through.
We did.
We got home at 6 a.m. on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I guess I dodged the bullet because I'm fine.
Yep.
Got home 6 in the morning, went to sleep for a few hours, woke up, boom, I was sick. So yeah. So anyway, that lasted a good thing is for, I think maybe Joe, it lasted longer, but for us, it lasted like about 2.5 days of
the really bad stuff.
The bad.
I'm still.
Yeah, we're not 100% recovered. I don't think
like
our bodies aren't.
Eating
but
things is still kind of weird.
Yeah, but like we've been back at work and stuff. But anyway, so in St. Louis, we stopped in St. Louis on the way back and got some Emo's pizzas and some Mama Lucia's pizzas, a lot of them, some Fitz root beer and cream soda. And that's what I got here is I've got Fitz root beer mixed with not exactly absinthe, but sort of absinthe centric, which kind of looks like the Mississippi River. So that works out well. But
Viviana says, "Are you guys contagious?" No.
No, we've been at work.
We've been at work. There's been no issues.
I stayed home Tuesday, right? No.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I stayed home Tuesday, but then we've been at work Wednesday, Thursday.
We're all good.
Friday.
I think my stomach's just still kind of weird from like
we're
getting
just
rid of all of.
I actually feel pretty.
Insides.
I actually feel pretty normal again.
I feel mostly, It's just like yesterday, I didn't want anything for lunch, so I had mashed potatoes.
Yeah, my appetite hasn't come.
My appetite's a little bit weird, but like overall, we're all good and better.
Yeah,
I
was running a fever on Tuesday, but that's back to normal. And and here's some glass half full. My back is finally pretty much good, so it's not 100%, but it's like I don't know how much I've talked about it, maybe a little bit, that I've been in like having a lot of back. I feel like I'm just like whining this whole live stream. It's been a rough time, but I've been like really, really in a lot of pain, not very mobile, since like before the Mardi Gras or Margaritaville cruise.
Yeah.
And it started getting better a little bit before we went out of town. But while we were out of town, even though we were driving and all that stuff, like I haven't had to do ice or braces or anything like that. So there's some good optimism for you. We came back and, well, we did lose a spider, but everybody else is good. We lost a spider today, which probably is because of something I did before we left. But anyway, we're back.
We are back. Stacy says, was Matt trying to cook and got everybody sick?
No, it wasn't me.
Stacy says the norovirus diet. I mean, I'm still not 100% that it wasn't food poisoning.
I mean, norovirus
I don't know.
Kind of is food poisoning.
Yeah.
It's just that I've read a lot about norovirus being like a higher percentage thing right now. And the speed that it seemed to have hit us and the speed at which it seemed to have left us aligns with that. But I don't really know for sure. I have no
idea.
There's other things it could be. I have no idea. We didn't get it tested or anything. So I don't know, but yeah.
Les says, and they say cruise ships are where people get sick.
Right? We didn't even go in a freaking airplane, Les.
I mean, we didn't really see that many people.
No, we weren't even around a lot of people. So I don't know.
Viviana said, Kimbra's jumping spider?
No, we thought it was hers. our friend Steve was watching him. He felt horrible, but it wasn't his fault. And he sent me a text today because it was fine. He just hadn't made it back over. And he sent me a text today, and he's like, "Man, I think the one jumping spider was walking around yesterday, but it's like I think it's dead." And he sent me a picture, and he's like, "I'm gonna just bring them back and just drop them at your house." And I said, "That's cool." So I think what happened is that's the jumping spider that I thought wasn't eating anything, and I had flies hatching, and they were going out of their pupa, and it ate like too much, and it was like way obese, and I think that sometimes they just don't survive that. So I think it was my fault because I thought
But
she
you
wasn't
didn't
eating.
know.
I didn't know it was an
Yeah,
accident, but yeah, live and learn. Hey, Mom.
and
Hopefully Joe's feeling good. Hey there, JT. So anyway, I don't recommend this drink, by the way. I like both these things, but together, I don't know. I read root beer and absinthe are a good combo, but this is not really doing it for me. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm going to drink it because, I'm not wasting a Fitz root beer.
Anita says, we were bummed we didn't get to see you guys too, but I'm so sorry you guys got sick.
Yeah, it sucked. I was really upset that we didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that day. Honestly, that would have been like kind of the finale of our trip.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to that, but it just, you guys would have gotten sick almost definitely because, well, I don't know.
I mean, if it was food poisoning, they wouldn't have.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But we don't know. And I don't.
It's all a mystery.
And I don't recall getting stomach sick like that for years. So I don't recommend it and I don't wish it on anybody. So I certainly wouldn't want to be responsible for for spreading that to you when I had an inkling that I was doing it. So
yeah. JT's got some Buffalo Trace.
Oh, cool, JT. Yeah. I've got some in there, but maybe I should have mixed that with root beer. I did read bourbon and root beer are pretty good. Although I don't know. I don't know.
Washy.
Washy, well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, girl, we got to get you running back and forth in the living room. What happened?
You hit that age when your body stops growing, but you're still consuming the energy and it just builds up.
It just happened so fast.
It did. I mean, she's what, a year and not even a year and a half, right?
A year and 2 months. Yeah.
So, and I'd say this happened in the last month or two.
Oh, Joe is still dealing with it.
Oh, really?
Huh.
No, well, see, now that makes me question my diagnosis. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I see. I see Bahumat's head popping up.
Oh, is it?
That's kind of funny because he was sleeping in the water bowl when we came in here.
I don't see it.
It's not popping up
it's
now.
Not there anymore?
No, it was just like it popped up a couple times.
Les says, are you guys glad you are back to warm Florida? I prefer it be a little bit warmer.
Right? It was like, this is the temperature it was in the Midwest. So where is warm Florida?
But they're about to like get icy snow.
Yeah, but we're going to get cold. Yeah, not that cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could use some of that warm weather though if we're going to have to be scooting.
I know. I guess we got to hook that up to the charger.
Yeah, we got to put on the trickle charger.
Yeah.
But that's easy. She is a sweet girl, Nina. She's really not. I mean, she's a little overweight. She's really not that bad. But this is the time we got to get under control.
Yeah,
otherwise,
we can't let her get.
We will have a shortened lifespan dragon, and we don't want that.
We don't want that.
We want a long-lived dragon. Oh, we should tell everybody what my mom got since that was kind of the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a picture of it?
I don't have my phone in here because it's on the charger.
Okay. Because I should have taken a picture of like the whole thing, but I never did that because I'm a dingbat.
So
go ahead.
So from Christmas for my mom, we got her a bearded dragon. But hers is a really low maintenance one. And it's really big.
Looks just like Marty, doesn't it?
She's calling it Marty.
Yeah.
It's about, I'd say this big.
Yeah, about maybe a little bit smaller.
A little smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, with its tail.
Yeah.
Its head's like
Yep.
like that, I think.
Yeah.
So we got this bearded dragon, and Kimbra 3D printed crickets for it. And then our friend at work, he crochets. So he crocheted.
If you saw the thumbnail, you saw it.
He crocheted some pieces of lettuce. So they are actually designed after different types of lettuce.
Yeah, he did like one a day and would come over and like hand me a piece of lettuce, and he's like, this one's spinach. And then he'd come like the next day and be like, this one's kale. Like every day I'd get a different piece of lettuce and he'd tell me what it was. It was kind of funny.
Now, really, Marty's not allowed to have spinach, but pretend Marty can have as much as she wants.
Yeah.
And then Kimbra took like a box and cut the side out and put like screen mesh in there. And then she took the piece she cut and she wrapped the box, she wrapped the piece, and then she taped it on and then like tied it with a bow. So it kind of opened like a little door. So that it was like a little travel thing.
All right, we've got lots of comments coming in. JT says, I about froze my butt off in Lake City this morning. I wore jeans to work this morning.
I'm wearing pants right now. Check this out. Not because it's cold. These are just a new thing for me, sweatpants. So
it's a new thing.
It is. I
know.
Maybe I had like some, I don't know. I don't think I've had sweatpants since I was like
You taken after me
in elementary school.
Because I wear comfy stuff all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna dye my hair pink.
Yeah. Stacy says it's -3 here, but feels like -20.
Oof.
Ugh. Viviana says it's 53 in Tampa now. I don't consider that warm. I don't either.
No. Although that I would take that over 38 or whatever it's going to be.
Anita says we're about to get hit with a storm predicted to start tomorrow night. Not sure if it's going to be ice, snow, both, or how much. Your mom says the same thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
And JT says sweatpants are comfy.
They are.
I'm also wearing sweatpants.
I just haven't owned any. I've had like sporty shorts, but they're not sweatpants or sweat shorts. No, yeah. So, I am enjoying them.
I'm actually quite toasty with this sweatshirt.
I'm a little warm in here, yeah.
Yeah, but that's all right. I had to wear the sweatshirt to talk about it. Should bite it. Oh. Stacy says he wears pajama pants around the house.
I would too if I lived in that freezing cold Arctic climate.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our Christmas.
Yeah. Here's to 2025.
We got to see family, and that was good. That was very good. At least some of our family. So that was good. But what do you got? Anybody else get anything exciting for Christmas? Any fun Christmas gifts? I mean, technically, our gift to each other was the captain.
Yeah.
So he's a Christmas gift too.
Yeah. But we didn't want to name him something Christmassy.
No, that didn't seem right.
Well, do you have any New Year's resolutions, Matt?
You used to pick on Rena like that too. You're a picker.
She's got shed all over.
She's a lizard. She's supposed to have shed all over her. I don't have any New Year's resolutions. I don't do New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
You're doing something though.
It's not a resolution though. It's just a goal. Because
this is like curdling.
Ew. Because we've done this thing where we lose all this weight, and then a thing happens, and then we gain it all back. And I'm tired of gaining it all back. So I'm my first goal is to do a 30-minute workout every day for the month of January. And so far I'm 3 for 3.
Good job.
So, and I've just done walks so far. It's been as you've heard, it's been kind of a crazy week. So, because we've had, we had the sickness, and then we had to like clean up a little bit. We had to rearrange the room for
We still
the
got a lot of
engraver.
cleaning up to do.
We do, which is why we told Viviana not to come till later so that we could clean up the
Get
room
the
that we
table cleaned
didn't
up.
clean up. Yeah, so my first goal is to do a 30-minute workout every day for the month of January.
Yep. We're behind. Everything that usually takes me like say 30 minutes has taken me like 2 hours to do with being in pain. But now I'm hoping I can get back on track.
Yeah.
But we have done a lot though. Like we moved all the animals in here, and well, not all of them. We've a few of them in here, but that was a lot of work.
You see Bahama? He poked his head up again.
We got our reptile room really straightened up, cleaned up. Did he poke his head up?
He did, yeah.
So, but yeah. But right now our dining room table is covered with stuff.
Yeah.
And we need that free tomorrow.
Yeah. You can read that, and then I'll move on.
JT says our Christmas gift to each other was Jen's birthday cruise with the kids on the Mardi Gras. Well, that's a pretty darn good Christmas present.
Viviana got a ninja coffee maker.
Oh, ninja coffee maker. I like it. I didn't know Ninja made coffee makers. I don't know why I wouldn't assume they would, but 34 is cold for everywhere. My mom says. Look at that. Stacy says, good job.
Yeah, thank you. Viviana says, my New Year's resolution is to declutter my house.
Declutter ours.
Yeah. Come do ours too. You've been closing your rings. I have. And I've got, I'm sure you've seen. So I'm going to back up a little bit. For anybody that's interested, I have created a group on Facebook that you have to be invited to if you want to do this 30-day challenge with. You don't have to join the group, but there's a group of us that are in this group. How many more times can I say group? It's very motivating because like today I didn't want to do anything, but then one person posted something and then somebody else posted something, and I was like, all right, it's not that hard to go do the thing. So I did it.
Are you moving into that or away from that? I'm not sure.
Les says, my resolution is to make it to 2026.
Well, Les, I hope you make it way past that.
JT says, I got to walk with Jen a couple times this week. I enjoy walking with her. Well,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, she's been going out early in the morning when it's freezing cold and walking for a couple miles.
Wow, kudos to you.
I know, that's dedication because I walked outside today, but it was after work when it wasn't freezing cold. Stacy says, I thought about exercising. Does that count? No.
It counts, Stacy. I mean, you can build off of it.
Think about it. You can think about it in January and then do it in February.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's not a resolution. It's a goal. It's a lifestyle change.
Had we booked the?
We haven't talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So most of the people in here probably know this, but
a couple of them do.
But we booked another cruise, and it's a group cruise.
Not ours.
Not our group cruise. Para DJ decided to do a group cruise, which they never do group cruises. This is their first group cruise, and we really like Para DJ a lot. We've had the pleasure of hanging out with them several times. They came on our group cruise, so we figured we should return the favor Theirs is a wee bit bigger than ours, to put it mildly. But not only do they book a group cruise, they booked it out of Tampa on the Margaritaville. So of course,
During my birthday.
during her birthday. So it was like, I feel a little targeted, to be honest. But no. So we definitely booked that, and there you go. We're on the Paradij group cruise, and it's like a 7-night cruise on the Margaritaville, which is nice.
The Islander.
Yeah, on the Islander. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be on the other one for 7
No.
nights. But it's going to Cozumel. It's going to Costa Maya. It's going to Key West, which she's never been to, and it's going to Belize. So that's really weird, Marty. So distracting. Could you stop doing that, please?
Why are you doing that?
She's like, I usually get fed when I'm doing these things.
I think that's what she keeps giving me the eye, like she wants food.
You want some lettuce? You could have some lettuce.
You want me to get some lettuce?
Get some lettuce.
You think she'll eat that?
I don't know. She probably will. So yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. They I don't know if they still have cabins available, but I know that Anita and Ed and Todd and Patty are going on that cruise. So it's going to be like our own little mini group cruise of our group of friends going within the bigger group, I think, because I think we're doing a lot of stuff together, which should make it really fun. And do you want that? It's like, that is not a blueberry. That is not a worm. But I'll eat it because I'm Marty. Oh, man. Our lizards have been eating some salad, man. Churro, he has been like, I've been giving him like a human portion salad every day, and he has been eating it, like all of it, every day, which is good. That's what we want him to do. He is not overweight. He's not underweight, but he's not overweight. That lizard's always the perfect weight. He goes weeks without eating. He's still the perfect weight. And then other times he like pigs out and he doesn't, he's always the same weight.
Want more?
She's like, I don't know. That's just, nope.
Hey there, Aunt D. Les says it seems most of my clothes have shrunk in the dryer since the beginning of the holiday season.
Yep.
You want a purple one?
Oh, purple. Not to be confused with your mom's hair.
No, that's pink. Like that. Whoop. Whoop. Anita says we are excited for that cruise as well.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how much time we'll actually get with Paradij, but we'll get a lot of time with our other friends, so it'll be good. It'll be a good time.
And everyone's saying hi to Aunt D. You gonna eat this purple leaf, or did I pull it out for nothing?
She's like, I don't eat the purple leaves. I eat the green leaves. Leaves are supposed to be green, not purple. You trying to give her purple hair?
Yeah. No green leaf? Let me give you one that's a big leaf. Can I get like a medium leaf? Oh, that's a floor leaf.
Is it a floor leaf clover? Sorry. So I think maybe next Friday we may have some special guests on to talk about our group cruise, and that would of course be the other group that is having the group cruise, the Sea Dazed. No?
I guess she's done.
If our schedules work out. She's like, no, I don't want any more of that green stuff. Yuck.
But she's looking at it.
JT said green stuff will kill you. Not for you. You're a lizard. It'll make you strong.
That's a big one. You want that one?
Don't force her to eat.
I'm not. I'm giving her a leaf hat.
She says, "Leave me alone. Leave me alone, eh?"
She ate her salad today too, though, so she didn't
She
really
did.
need more lettuce.
No.
You let me on the screen?
Well, I'm up against the thing.
Okay, fine.
So
I'll sit all the way over here.
Marty's like falling off the edge there.
I know she is. She got a big butt.
No, she just came forward on it. You got a black spot on your toe.
What kind of black spot?
I don't know.
Is it a scale?
I think it's a scale.
She got a black scale.
It's the black spot.
Not the black spot.
Whew. I think my mom saying
Oh,
something.
do you think she missed you too while you were gone?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, I think we underestimate intelligence in animals, and I hesitate to say emotion in animals. I mean, certainly some animals I think feel emotion. I don't know.
I don't know. We did take her out yesterday, which we hadn't done in a little while because, of course, we weren't home. Now I know Steve got her out a couple of times,
A little bit, yeah.
but we had her out yesterday, and when I put her back, she
kind of threw a fit.
She did. She kind of threw a fit.
But I mean, normally when we come home, she's out most of the evening, like just hanging out, watching TV, and obviously she hasn't been able to do that. So I think she kind of missed that. I don't know if she missed us, but I think she missed that.
She likes being out in her playpen on her cypress knee, watching TV with us.
Or at least she likes being on her cypress knee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. Does she like watching the TV? Does she like the colors, the sounds, the movement? I have no idea. I don't know.
I don't know, but she she kind of threw a little bit of a fit last night.
You got me picking at her. You poor thing. Now you got to come in from both directions. Oh, look at that.
Did you get it?
Oh, look at that. It wasn't even really attached. It was just laying.
I know. I could tell it was there. I just couldn't get a good grip of it to like peel it off.
Ah, yes. This is also spa time for Marty. Exfoliate. Exfoliate.
You see that little piece of...
Don't peel it if it's not ready.
It was sticking up. I just couldn't grab it.
Okay.
Matt's ninja skills. Now her tail's in my face.
Yeah, see what I mean? Oh. She looks hunched over on camera. She's not that hunched over.
I mean, she's a little hunchy.
A little bit, but not like it looks like... She looks like Igor. Or Igor from Young Frankenstein.
She's awake.
She is awake.
She's not real active, but she's definitely awake. Andy says, I follow an iguana who climbs up his dad, and I follow a caiman who climbs in bed and lays next to his mama. So they clearly feel more than people think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we underestimate... Intelligence is a hard thing to measure. I don't think you can measure it evenly among species, but I think we definitely, and I am guilty of this in the past for sure, underestimate reptile intelligence. And like I said, I don't know if emotion is the right word. That's the human version of it, but there's definitely stuff going on that maybe we don't completely understand in some things, and you know, it's hard to interpret in a lizard. I mean, they're not social animals per se, but obviously that lizard seems to be enjoying itself. So
you think she looks happy?
I
She
think
likes
she's,
snuggling with me.
at the very least, I always tell people this when I'm trying to be official and sciencey. At the very least, that animal is content. The animal is comfortable.
She's not stressed.
All of her needs are being met. She does not feel threatened. And for an animal in the wild, that's a lot. So, and if you work with wild caught specimens of certain species and compare that to like captive bred ones, especially if there's been generations, you normally see a significant difference in behavior. And that behavior is probably mostly based on them not thinking you're going to eat them. So there's something to it. My pup Todd isn't intelligent enough to have a lot of emotion. I mean, I was unknowingly training alligators for years before somebody pointed it out to me that alligators can be trained. And I went, what? And then I started training alligators. And it was one of those things where I was like, duh, why did I not? Like, I was literally doing this, but not in a constructive way. And I didn't even put those dots together. So, my own intelligence needs to be questioned there, I guess. But yeah.
Let's see. Marty looks very content, Anita says. Todd is a purebred Cocker Spaniel, a complete derp, and June is a pit mix and so smart.
Yep. I mean, I can tell you that the two snakes behind me are a lot more intelligent than, again, going by somewhat human version of intelligence, than the other snakes in this house overall, based on
Are you saying Hedwig's not smart?
I'm not saying that Hedwig isn't smart. I'm just saying that
Hedwig's hilarious.
Relative to the cobras.
Hedwig will hiss and hiss and hiss when we walk in the room. And then you get him out and he just sits there. And after he eats, if he chooses to eat, he just stares at you. He doesn't want more, because I've tried to give him more and he doesn't want it. But he just stares. Like, I'm very curious what's going on in that snake's head.
Yeah.
He's a friendly guy.
Yeah.
He's just a little hissy. Tiger Lily's real hissy.
Well, look at the skinks over there. Like one of them, if you come here in the afternoon, will jump at the glass until you open the door so that he can climb on you. Yeah. He doesn't want food. He won't even take food if you offer it to him, but he just wants to be on you. And the other one is like terrified of you. So, and they're the same species, but different personalities.
Yeah, Marty Snuggles.
Definitely Mr. Mom. I mean, if you look at it from a very analytical perspective, reptiles tend to want heat and mammals are warm-blooded. So, at the very most basic level,
I have hot hands right now.
Reptiles might get something out of your body heat, but I think there's probably a lot more to it than that in some cases.
Are you trying to say Marty doesn't just love me?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying at the very least, Marty is enjoying your body temperature, your endothermic abilities.
When the captain gets bigger, we'll have one of those over by you.
As long as they get along.
Viviana says introvert and extrovert lizards.
Exactly. They're just different personalities. And unfortunately, I think the one that's afraid of us is literally afraid of us. So I don't, we just keep working with him. Hopefully, I don't care if he doesn't have to want to jump on me. That's his decision.
No, but the problem is he's so afraid that you open the door and he jumps out.
Well, now he does. I think he's, because we've had to move him and stuff.
Yeah, so and that's caused more
trauma.
That's
his own fault because he was beating up the other one.
I know.
So he brought that on himself. So he'll get over it. The same with the monitor lizard, Skirka.
Yeah.
I mean, she
She
doesn't
has
jump at
her
the
moments.
she doesn't jump at the window.
No.
But if I open the door and put my hand in there about, I don't know, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 times, she'll climb up, sit on my shoulder. She doesn't stay anywhere for long unless she's out for the night, and then she's back in. Sometimes she comes back up, back in. And again, she doesn't want food. She won't take food.
No, she just wants to be.
She just wants to be on you.
Yeah, she's done that to me a couple times too.
Which is pretty cool.
Churro doesn't really do that, but he's
No.
friendly.
He wants to be high up.
Yeah, he wants to be up high.
If you are the highest point, he will climb you and sit on your head.
Yeah.
But he's not in it for you, although he does watch us.
Yeah, he does.
If he wants food, he might come over to you.
Mm-hmm.
But
the other day I gave him some
he's
worms
more like,
and he like jumped at it.
He's more like a cat in that regard.
Yeah.
So, although I've had certainly some cats that wanted some snuggles, so I've had some very cuddly lap cats in my time.
Anita says, so he's in solitary confinement for misbehaving.
I mean, I'm not punishing him. I don't want to give that impression.
He did technically get downgraded.
He did, because we had to move him because he was beating up the other one. And so his option was a smaller habitat, and it was him or the other one getting put in there. And I'm like, you're the bully. You're getting the smaller habitat.
They were both getting moved. So when we moved them, we put the friendly one in the bigger one.
Yep. But he's not in too small of a habitat.
No.
It is half the size. As you can see, it looks like those two would be the same size, this one and this one, but this is actually two units. So he's in this one. The other one's empty currently. But
I could put a lychee in there.
You could.
Or a chihuahua.
You could.
I'm not going to. Thought about the geckos.
Yeah. Well, the geckos are eventually moving in here, right?
Yeah, the geckos are gonna go right here.
Yeah.
In this space. I've got to finish doing their cages though. Every time I get a good chunk of it done, and then something comes up where I can't work on it. I really need to get those done. DV going on in the reptile world at your house.
DV? I don't know. You have to clarify that one for us. Anita says, I was teasing. I know you love all your... I know you were teasing, Anita. I'm just saying.
Domestic issues.
Oh, yes. There were domestic issues.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Because we thought it was a male and a female.
It was not.
The bully ended up being another male. And he was beating up our nice male.
Who is still super friendly with us. I thought it was going to ruin that.
That poor lizard has been through a lot, mostly from the other one, but he's been moved twice now. But he's
been moved more than twice.
Well, I mean, he's been moved twice recently because he was in,
right, because we had to pull him out and put him somewhere else.
Even the same day that he was like moved, he was
jumping out ready to be with us.
Yeah, so he was all good.
Oh, hey there, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
And Ananda.
Ananda, yeah. Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't know if we said Happy New Year. Well, yeah, we kind of did at the beginning.
I said Merry 2025.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, I must be empathetic. I yawn too. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
If people yawn and you don't yawn, you don't have any empathy?
Yeah. Oh, Marty, Larry, and Ananda say hi.
Oh. Captain was on here earlier, Larry.
Yeah, we're trying to get him used to being out and on the screen, but he's still a little shy.
Well, he's little.
He's still a little. He's just little. What's the topic?
how I spent my Christmas vacation,
Yeah.
which we already explained, but it wasn't that exciting. So now we're just hanging out.
Anita says, I know someone has probably already asked, but how many roommates do you guys actually have? We counted them the other day. Do you
Well,
remember what it is,
it's
Matt?
changed now with the spider.
Well, yeah, but
We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lizards.
yes.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 snakes.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. So 9 plus, what did I say, 7?
8.
9 plus 8?
8 lizards.
Oh, 9 plus 8 plus 1 spider. So that's 10. That's 18. 18 that are official. I mean, I caught a lizard when we were cleaning the bedroom for the
Yeah, but you
laser
put it
cutter.
outside.
I did. I mean, it was outside. I opened the window
Yeah.
and it was like sitting in there. I couldn't move because it was cold. So I just picked it up and set it gently outside. Captain and Tennille.
The Fantastic State Aquarium.
Right. Well, we don't have any fish.
Yeah. No,
Although
well,
that may change soon. Well, I don't know if we'll have fish. Well, maybe. We have like the aquarium gave us a little aquarium.
we could put it right there.
And it's like a little mini self-contained, what is it, 10 gallons?
It's
8 gallons?
No. I think it's an 18.
No, it's not 18. 18, really?
I think that's what it is.
It's a small aquarium but we didn't want to set it up because we knew we were going to be traveling and stuff. And we'll probably do I think we want to do like live plants in it with some small little stuff in there, like maybe some little shrimp, maybe some little fish, just for fun, something low maintenance. I haven't kept a lot of aquatic stuff, really, like not gill aquatic stuff.
I used to have fish.
I had a snowflake moray eel for a little bit, a couple damselfish. I feel like I had fish when I was a little kid. Maybe we had a fish. Yeah, we had a fish aquarium when I was a kid, but I didn't take care of it. I was real little.
It's a 15.
A 15-gallon?
Yeah.
Okay. I had an electric eel for a second. Well, I don't know if it was an electric eel. I bought it at a Walmart. It looked like an electric eel. Like this was like me in my 20s. I knew what electric eels looked like. I don't know what it was. It might have been something else. It was covered in ick. I shouldn't have bought it. It didn't live very long, but it was at a Walmart. So I got it.
Larry says Ananda's dad had a 200-gallon saltwater aquarium.
Wow.
Had blue tangs and some others. That's pretty cool. I think those are like beautiful, but I'm not interested in keeping something like that.
No.
Like I want like guppies.
Yeah, I like neon tetras a lot.
Yeah. Viviana said, I have not successfully kept a fish aquarium. I gave up. Yeah, Viviana and I had a couple aquariums together.
Yeah.
When I lived with her, and then we had betas. We had 4 betas, a red one, a blue one, a yellow one, and a green one.
Oh, for the 4 houses of Harry Potter.
We searched high and low to find those betas.
I guess. Well, I mean, fish aquariums are tricky. There are some things that, and I don't know why you haven't had success, Viviana, but there are some things about fish aquariums that a lot of people don't understand and aren't usually educated in properly at aquarium, like pet stores, that will set you up for failure. They're basically, to do an aquarium right is typically an exercise in patience, because you have to let a lot of chemistry happen before you can get a successful fish aquarium. And a lot of places don't really explain that very well. So I don't know if that's why you've had challenges, but that I worked in enough pet stores to know that's why most people do.
My problem with aquariums is always when it needs to be changed, like when the water needs to be changed. Is every time I change it, I apparently do it wrong because everything dies after that.
Well, that can affect the chemistry.
I know. I mean, I know what's happening. I just don't know how I can not do that.
Well, the smaller it is, the smaller the changes can be.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Like if you have a 15-gallon aquarium, you don't want to, when you do a water change, it's like a small percentage of the water.
I think that was the problem, is I always did too much.
Yeah, and you got to make sure your like biological filter media doesn't get compromised, but that's why, like, I used to tell people, if you want a fish aquarium, they'd be like, oh, get a 10-gallon. Well, if you want a challenge, get a 10-gallon. If you want an easy time, get like a 55-gallon, because the bigger the aquarium, it's like the more room you have for air. It's like, imagine if you were keeping like a human in a room or like a home, right? And there's, I don't know, somebody eats a lot of beans and they're farting and they're polluting the air. So if you're in a home, you have a lot more time and ability to clean that out before it becomes so condensed that you're like harming the health of the human. If it's in a room, the smaller the room, well, the more damage that does. And if you can't tend to it properly, then it's going to have worse effects. That's a really gross way to describe that, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Larry says, I had a 10-gallon years ago with some goldfish and tetras.
It also depends on the species of fish, because like you could keep, like, goldfish are tough as nails.
Well, so Aunt D says, I have had a couple of fat goldfish years ago, just in a round bowl, lived for years.
Yeah.
They even ate hamburger.
Yeah, goldfish are tough. They can live in like, they can get oxygen from the air to some degree. That's why they can live in a bowl without like a bubbler and stuff, potentially. And they're dirty fish. They produce a lot of ammonia and stuff, but they can deal with it better. So they're hardy fish. That's like same with moray eels. Moray eels, like the guy that I learned saltwater aquariums from. Sorry, I'm like, he basically told me that moray eels could live in battery acid. Now, he was joking. He didn't really literally mean that, but his point was they could survive in some really crappy water. And that shouldn't be your goal, but it does give you a bigger, margin of error. So if you're trying to keep the water perfect and they can handle horrible level water, then, you could mess up a lot before they die. So
Viviana says, I like my 4 dogs. I have kept them alive successfully so far.
They're easier to relate to. They're breathing the same air and they don't mind farty air because they're making it. So
Larry says, our cat Charlie just turned 13 and he's still going.
There you go. I mean, I had a cat live, oh man, I think I've had a cat live over 20. I definitely had one live up into their upper teens, which is an old kitty. But, I think the average cat live about 12 to 15. I think that's the average domestic cat life.
Probably, something like that.
I think it's somewhere in that range.
Viviana says, what you say makes sense. I think I may have put too many fish in my aquarium.
Yeah, that's the big mistake people make. They get an aquarium and they load it with fish. And then all those fish poop and they pollute the water and there's no chemistry to balance that out. And everybody just dies. So, when you get an aquarium, typically, I mean, there's ways to cheat this, but typically you got to start with like 1 or 2 small creatures and maybe some media that's been in another aquarium that's got some good bacteria on it, and you got to get that propagated, and then you let that cycle through, and there's like different things you test for, and then once that levels out, then you add a little bit more, and then it spikes again, but not too much because you only add a little bit, and then it levels out, and that's how, and then until you get to where you want it to be, however many critters you want in there, and the more you get in there, the faster that process happens. So the initial cycling phase is what takes the longest. But that's where most people get frustrated with fish aquariums, which I get it. It is a frustrating thing. Especially if you go to a store and they're like, yeah, you can just put these 12 fish into your 10-gallon. They'll be great. And you'll have 12 floaters, unless they're goldfish eating hamburger. And they'll probably outlive us all. Larry says, all the lighting behind you, do you have any special? Oh,
he has need down here.
Need. No, in fact, all of the lighting you see behind me that's on right now, with one exception, are just LED bulbs. They're low watt LEDs. In fact, the two big ones behind me are like strip cabinet lights, LEDs. Do we have, oh, I have a UV. The bottom one has a tube UVB, but it's still a low watt.
Yeah, the kiwi has a UVB.
Yeah.
And pistachio has a UVB.
The one right now, there would be two of these, but the one has an incandescent bulb, but it's like 25 watts or something. So it's low.
And pistachio has one too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The other one broke today.
It just broke, yeah.
Pistachios is that 125? Or
I think it's a 25 as well.
Yeah. So 25 watt light bulb, incandescent light bulb, is and then
for heat.
And then the rest of them
are all
plant
lights and UVB
LEDs.
lights.
Yeah, they're not pulling hardly anything really. The way they get heat, well, the lizards don't need a lot of heat. Our house is warm enough, and that little basking 25 watt bulb is enough. Plus the PVC holds the heat really well. But then the snakes back there, they have what's called heat tape or heat panels on the back, which are controlled by thermostats, and there's a probe in there, and it regulates where we keep it, which we keep them like during the night. We keep them at 75. So that's about where the house is, maybe a couple degrees warmer. So they don't have to run very much. And during the day, we keep them at, I think, 80. And most of the year, that's where the house is when we're not home. So, so it does kick on if the temperatures drop. But again, it's not a ton of electrical pull on those. Now, if we had like for Marty's got, she's got UVB bulbs, which are low watt, but then she has a heat lamp. She has a high wattage heat basking lamp, which is what, 75?
75.
It's still not that bad. 75 watt bulb.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we used to all burn 60 watts everywhere, right? 75 watt bulb. But
and Skirka has a higher one.
Skirka, right? I think, has a
125?
125 or a 100 because she needs a hotter. So that's a little bit more, but it's still like
they're plugged into the same thing.
It's still like a realistic wattage bulb you could have bought 10 years ago at a Walmart.
And I can control all of their lights with my phone.
And the other animals, they're in the room where we control the temperature in that room. So they don't have a lot of heat sources.
None of them currently have heat.
No. We have a space heater in there.
Yeah.
That kicks on if it drops below
80.
like 80. But it usually doesn't because we close the vent. Now, right now is a little different because it gets cold. So we have the vent open. So that space heater kicks on a little bit. And that draws the most energy of anything we use, probably, other than like the refrigerator and the stove. Yeah. But But yeah, not a lot really.
No, Larry says, I'm going to go back to the other comments, but Larry says, when I first started YouTube, I bought the 3 studio lights with the 100-watt bulbs. It kept blowing my circuits. So
Oh,
I'm going to,
because that's
can you hand me the keyboard?
Because that's like 300 watts on there, although that still should be sort of within reason. We use, well, now everything's LED, so
I know, that's why I'm going here.
we use this Elgato lights, and I'm sure they're LED. Are you looking to see what wattage they are?
No, they're LED, but I was going to try and find a picture of it to show. Can you move that box? There you go. I just couldn't see the screen.
This is the box that Marty sits on, but whoops, that's upside down. This is what Down Under Cruiser sent us.
This is what we have for our, and you can't see them, but we have one there and one here.
I think that's our camera too.
Yes, we also have this, we have this branded of camera too.
We don't have the other stuff though, but
No, so
although it looks kind of like our stuff. A little bit. Those are bigger monitors.
There. It's just a very simple little
light. We have 2 of them. They're not the cheapest option, but they work really easily and really well. And they're smaller than a lot of them. So we liked that, especially when we were in the other place and we didn't, we were trying to use that space for like 4 different things.
Andy says, I bought a smallish tank with a filter and everything and had 2 goldfish and they both died within a week. The goldfish in just the bowl lived years, so maybe less is more for them.
Maybe.
Viviana says, Kimber, you should get the snails again. You want to get snails, Matt?
We could put snails in there. That's what I want, like some small inverts.
Yeah, I want live plants.
Like an ecosystem
snails,
that's almost self-maintaining in there.
Yeah, I want some shrimps.
Maybe a couple fish, but it doesn't need to have a lot of fish, but yeah, just like a little, maybe a frog.
Yeah, we've looked at the frog real hard before.
I haven't seen that. Have we seen them in Florida though? Are they legal in Florida?
Yeah,
they are.
We looked it up because we were really looking at them.
Yeah, little African dwarf clawed frog.
Yeah. Did you know iPad has an app that mimics Stream Deck? Cheap app, works great.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
I don't know if we can use that with StreamYard.
Maybe.
But StreamYard
he uses StreamYard.
Oh, yeah. StreamYard's made a lot of changes since we first started using it.
I know, like I can stream with my iPad on if I use a Mac, but I can't do that with a PC. At least I couldn't. I don't think that's changed. I don't know for sure.
I might set up that fish tank, Matt. Right there. Look, right there.
Yeah. Could be a good spot for it. I don't know when we'll see it.
When we'll see it? When we're in here?
Doing the live?
Doing the live. Because my problem with fish tanks are they get loud.
I don't think that one will be loud though.
The water trickling.
I don't think it'll be that.
No, will this one not do that?
I don't know. We can set it up and just run it and see what it sounds like. I like the sound of fish aquariums running.
It keeps me awake.
I like that running water sound. It's soothing to me.
It will keep me awake at night.
Spa.
That's one of the reasons I stopped keeping fish tanks.
No.
Because it would keep me awake at night. That and crickets. Just can't do it. Let's see. Larry says, I'm about to cook some shrimp for Ananda for dinner. Andy says, I love snails. Those big land snails are amazing, but the water snails are super cool also.
I like big land snails too.
No, Viviana also likes that sound.
Unfortunately, we have some invasive land snails in Florida that'll give you diseases, but
we saw those snails in Aruba. That was really cool.
And I've seen them in Puerto Rico.
Those weren't snails. Those were
hermit crabs.
Yeah. We saw in Jamaica. We saw really big snails.
That's where we saw them. Yeah, and I saw them in Dominican Republic. No, I saw them in Puerto Rico, in the rainforest in El Yunque. That was cool. Big snails. And I used to take care of, when I was a zookeeper, I didn't take care of snails. I don't think we had any snails that I recall, but we had banana slugs. and then we had a couple other species of slugs, and I loved my banana slugs. They were so cool.
Hmm.
They were like that big, and they were just big yellow slugs, and they constantly bred, and their eggs looked like boba, but not black boba, like a tapioca, but clear pearlescent boba, like that size
Yeah.
and everything.
Hmm.
And I used to, they were out on exhibit, so my animals were in a place that had a bunch of different kind of animals in it, and I took care of the invertebrates, and they were on a thing where you look down at them, not like in a degrading way, just they were just, anyway. To keep them alive, because they're from the Pacific Northwest, they will literally melt at room temperature. So every morning I would have to go to the cafe and get ice, and I would have to fill the thing below them with ice, and then I would take them out of a refrigerator and I would put their little refrigerated box into the inset on exhibit over on ice. So they were on ice, and then I'd close the exhibit window. So they, and then at the end of the day, I had to take them out and put them back in the refrigerator. Otherwise, and we had colonies of them. So we had some that they were like, we rotated them on exhibit. So but we always had like a few batches in the refrigerator. So but they were pretty cool. The zoo camp had a song about banana slugs, which I still remember parts of. So they were special banana slugs. They're the state school, or they're like a college logo or mascot for somebody.
We saw them for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anita says, OMG, as a kid, we had a hamster, and that thing would get in its wheel every night at bedtime. So noisy.
Yeah, I don't like that sound. That's not a sound I would like.
He says, we've got a ton of slugs in our yard. Suddenly, I need to blow my nose. Andy says, yeah, I checked into the land snail thing and saw that there are some invasive snails down there, and it's frowned on to have them.
Well, because they're not just because they're invasive, but because some of the species can transmit diseases and pathogens to humans that are not good. So that's the big problem with them. I mean, they're also like, we have a lot of invasive snails that are just pests, like they just eat, people's gardens and whatever. But and actually, like, so we have these things called apple snails in Florida, and you'll see their shells. Like if you go hiking in wetlands, you'll see their shells everywhere, and their shells are they're like that big. But those are invasive. There is a native apple snail, and my understanding is that the native apple snail is endangered, or at least threatened, and the invasive apple snail, I'm not sure if they're the cause of that other snail being threatened or endangered, but there are animals that have very specific snail diets, like the snail kite, that wouldn't be able to survive, I think. And like limpkins.
I know limpkins
eat those, but the big ones are not native, and the smaller ones are. You don't see the smaller ones that often, but they have their eggs. They're aquatic snails, but when they lay their eggs, they lay them above the water line, and they crawl up on like cypress knees and stuff, and they look like little piles of little pink beads all stuck together. And then when they hatch, they're white. So like after they hatch, they're just white. So if they're pink, there's still little ones in there.
Viviana says, will you name the snail Gary? No, because I hate that show.
Oh, wow.
I mean, plankton's okay.
Yeah, lungworm and meningitis. So yeah, lungworm is a parasite, which is a big problem. There's a lot of different types of lungworms. That's actually a problem with people bringing in wild-caught snakes, is that they're spreading lungworm to pet populations as well as potentially wild populations. But also meningitis, which can be I think a pretty severe
Good night, Larry.
disease. Good night, Larry.
And hello, Darian.
Hey, Darian. Just in time. We're talking about lungworms and meningitis and parasites and diseases. But yeah, so don't, if you see snails in the wild that are big, giant snails in the wild and you're in Florida, don't pick them up. And if I didn't know that, I would have definitely picked them up because I am also a big fan of snails.
That's because your mom wouldn't let you watch it as a kid. No, SpongeBob started when I was a little bit older. I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy. But I did watch Rocko's Modern Life, and I'm surprised I was allowed to watch that one. I think she just didn't know what that was. I watched my fair share of SpongeBob.
You know what?
I mean, I know the fun song.
This is the second. Is this the second time we've done a live since we moved everything?
Yes.
Or the third? It's the third.
It's the second.
It's the third.
Well, the first one we had the green screen.
But we moved everything.
Yes.
All three of those times, you know what hasn't happened?
Yes. I'm not going to say it though.
Well, I mean, it's 3 times now.
Okay.
We've had good internet.
I know.
So whatever the problem was with our connection, we must have solved it on accident.
Which means I don't have to spend twice as much money on internet,
Mm-mm.
which I thought we were going to have to do.
So that's a good thing.
So many times I was so close to canceling our internet and signing up with someone else. But I didn't do it. I mean, all I did was like unplug things and
maybe something was loose or
maybe.
Who knows? I mean, didn't Stacy say sometimes you should just do that to like
Maybe,
reset
yeah.
everything?
Anita said that's a very positive thing.
Right? Because that was like horrible.
Yeah.
Like it was really frustrating. And I'm sure it was frustrating for people that enjoy hanging out with us on Fridays. So I'm glad that seems to have been resolved. And we're back to 1080p on StreamYard because they've made it a standard.
Yep.
So that's good as well. Now we just got to finish setting up this room, figure out where we're going to put all that crew stuff that was in here. We can work some of it in here.
Yeah. I think we can put some of the sign things up on the wall.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff that was sitting on the shelves that I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know. We've got our ships back there.
Yeah, we do have the ships.
We've got our ships on a stick back there.
Up there, yeah. And Steve Irwin.
Yep.
Right there. True enough. There is a Helping Hands for Cruisathon in
January 17th through 19th, I think.
You'll, if you're subscribed to any of the people doing that Cruisathon, you'll start seeing the thumbnails. I know Michael Ann's got hers up.
Yeah,
you'll see my artwork.
Yeah.
But if you check that out if you want.
We won't specifically be participating. We will probably be doing our normal live that Friday night, but there is somebody like slated for that time slot. So, we're not officially
because we would have had to do like I think Saturday or something, and I think you want to go to Disney. That's like our last weekend for our passes or something. And since I can walk around again without collapsing in pain, then we can maybe actually go to a theme park.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So there's that. But it's happening, and we support without participating this time.
I mean, the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So and by all means, even during our live, go to whoever is slotted and watch them or support them, and we're all for that. What else?
Is Marty still awake?
Eyes are open.
Okay. She's just chilling?
Just chilling.
Okay. Happy Marty.
Oh, this is something. Sorry, our video game nerd side. We got I got Game Pass for an Xbox, which means I got to access to there's a new Indiana Jones game. So if you're like into Raiders of the Lost Ark and video games, we've played it a little bit, and so far, I think it's been really cool. I don't know what you think of it. We haven't played it a lot yet, but
yeah, I don't like it as much as some other games, but I like it better than some. Like well, there was one game that you were playing that I like got bored with. So this one I'm not as into it. Like I really liked the Star Wars game. I would say I'm not quite at that level with it.
No, I don't think I like it as much as Star Wars Outlaws, but
I am like paying attention to it.
Well, and if you're a fan of the movies, it definitely feels like you are playing through a Raiders of the Lost Ark movie or an Indiana Jones movie. Like it's got some unique gameplay mechanics. It's got the graphics are pretty amazing. Sometimes they look just like Harrison Ford, other times they don't, but they always look good. The voice acting is really good. Whoever they got to do Harrison Ford is pretty good job. And yeah, it feels very cinematic. It feels like a Raiders of the Lost Ark style, or I keep saying Raiders of the Lost, feels like an Indiana Jones movie. Like there's a plot. I'm engaged with it because that's a big thing for me. Most video games, I lose interest in the plot. There are very few that keep my attention with the plot. Yeah. And this one is doing that. So
you know what I think I don't love about it is that it's first person.
It is first person.
And I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I don't tend to like games that are first person.
I don't either. And honestly, if it was third person, I think I would be enjoying it even more. Yeah. But for a first person game that isn't a shooter game, I mean, he does have his gun, but I haven't hardly used it.
I played it a little bit too. I didn't do a whole lot. I ran away from like the rock.
But normally, if I play a first person game that isn't a shooter,
you get sick.
I get sick real bad. And this one, I don't know. I did get a little queasy, but I was also sick. So and then I didn't really get, so I don't know. But yeah.
Anita says, Ed bought a cheaper game system that is a stick that plugs into your TV and has 2 paddles. And we've been enjoying older games like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Dig Dug.
That sounds like Atari 2600 style controllers there.
I used to have a little SpongeBob thing that just plugged into the TV, and it had like a few little games on it. It was just like a SpongeBob head, and his nose was the like little stick. And I played that a little bit. Vivian said, I'm all about the storyline, so I get you on that. I can't do first-person games. They make me sick. Yeah.
I usually avoid them.
I would have recommended it to you, but I knew it was first person.
And I mean, I can do like there's some of the shooters I can do. Like I played like the Call of Duty games, and some of those I can do all right with. But if it's not a shooter, I usually get sick really bad. I haven't seemed to have gotten sick on this one, but I usually avoid first-person games. If I'm just a big Indiana Jones fan, so and this game got really good reviews, so I got the Game Pass so I could get access to this instead of just paying for the game, so I could try it out. And if I didn't like it, I could play a few other games and then cancel my subscription. But I'm as an Indiana Jones fan, and the puzzles in this game, you would like those, Viviana. Although,
what puzzles have we done?
There's been like things where you've had to figure out, like they're unique to video game puzzles. Like there's been stuff where you've had to figure out orders of things. There's been some, I feel like there was like a lock one or something.
I can't think of any puzzles that we've done in this game.
There's been puzzles.
Waiting for you to tell me what
I'm
they
trying
are.
to think. I'm trying to think of a couple of them. There've been like locks. I feel like we had to pick or something, but there was one where we had to figure out an order. Well, we had to figure out like the scene opens in the Raiders of the Lost Ark opening scene, where you're in Peru with the two guides, well, three guides to start, and then you get into the cave and you had to figure out which stones to walk on, so that.
Oh yeah, there was that one.
But there was
That wasn't super puzzly though, because
no,
you
that one was
figured out.
pretty easy. But there was another one. They're kind of Tomb Raider-ish puzzles. I can't think of what it was now, but I remember thinking it was kind of unique for a puzzle.
When did it happen?
I don't know. I'd have to go look at it.
Okay.
It was like we had to look at. I don't know. We had to look at different things and do things in a certain order or something. It wasn't like you're obviously in a puzzle. It was like, oh, this is kind of a puzzle to figure it out.
Are you thinking of like when all the pieces were on the ground and we had to figure out where they went back on the shelf?
That was one. Yeah, I would say, yeah, that was a puzzle. Yeah.
But we didn't realize that's what we were doing until like we picked up 3 pieces and then we had already missed what they said about it.
No, but we found the pieces and then we realized, oh, they go on the shelves, and then we had to figure out which piece went where.
Right, but each time we picked one up, they said something about it. But I had dropped them and gotten to the third one when I realized that's what we were supposed to be doing.
But it was a puzzle.
Yeah, but then I couldn't go back and hear the thing about it again. So I didn't know how to figure out where it went.
Well, I did, because they were actual like historical things that went in the display case with the other historical things that matched it.
Yeah.
So like there was like one had cuneiform writing in it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And one of them had there was like the statue of Bastet.
Right.
That had to go in the one with the Egyptian one. So for me, that was cool because I was able to use real world historical knowledge yeah, that's the kind of thing. Okay. It wasn't a hard puzzle, but it was fun.
Okay. All right.
But there were a couple other ones like that. They felt very organic in the game, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
They're like games from Sega and the Atari systems. Yeah, because I had a lot of those on. Well, I had a Sega Genesis. I had an Atari 2600. Yep.
You sleepy?
Oh, I'm a little tired.
Yeah. It's almost time.
It is almost time.
Yeah. You guys have anything else to talk about? I have Game Pass. I'll try it out, but I'm sure it will be triggering. I'll try anyways because I like Indiana Jones. Yeah, try it. If it doesn't work out, at least you didn't buy it.
Take some Dramamine, see if that helps. I've always wondered if that would help.
She wears like the arm bands when she plays games to try and help with that. Snails.
Yeah, Viviana, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, I would definitely give it a shot. I know it used to be like first person games were really bad for me, like really bad, like Doom days. And then they got a little bit better. And I found that, and I know you get it worse than I do, but I found that with some games I could like sort of build up like an immunity to it, so I could play for a little bit, get sick, not like physically ill, but I got sweaty and felt really bad. And then I'd stop, I'd rest, and then I'd play again. And I would eventually build up like a tolerance, I guess, where I could play for longer and longer periods before I started to feel sick. And if I played it long enough, I could just play it. But like I said, I think you get it worse than I do. So I don't know if that'd do it for you.
She said, Matt said you just need a little more liquor and you'll feel better.
Yeah,
Tell Matt hi.
Yeah.
Is he watching us too?
I doubt it.
Viviana, we've been playing the Sherlock games too.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking at him and I said, I played one of these Sherlock games with Viviana one time. You want to snuggle with Marty?
I'm just looking at her.
What is she doing?
Just sitting there. She's like a giant lapel pin.
She's a prettier one. She's like the one animal in this house that people aren't terrified of.
I don't think anybody's terrified of.
But like, well, yes, I know you're Matt.
Yeah, we know. We know who said that.
But like people come in here and they're like, oh, animals. And I'm like, look at this one. And you're like, oh, I kind of like that one.
Because look at her.
My mom even likes this one.
Well, I don't know if she'd say she likes that one.
Oh, he's next. Look, so he is watching us.
Oh, well, hey, Matt.
Well, now you say hi, now that you know he's there.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was there.
Stop saying bad stuff about it.
Wow. We're Matts. We don't say bad stuff about other Matts.
Oh.
We have a bond. It's a Matt bond. It's matrimony. We're Matts, like mates with a silent E and a T.
Okay.
Anita says, I would hold her, but I would be leery probably of some of the others. Well, we'll find out. And Hercule Poirot. Are there video games for Hercule Poirot? I don't think have you ever watched him?
No.
I don't think I've either, but I'd probably like him. We've been watching, what is that television show called?
Which one?
Last Man Standing or something?
The one we've been watching? Man Down.
Man Down. If you have BritBox, then you probably like British television. I highly recommend it. And give it a few episodes to get through the shock of it. But then it's a really good show. If you don't like British comedy, you don't get that, you will not like it. But
it's pretty good.
It's I'm enjoying it.
Do you have a favorite character?
Do I have a favorite character?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the main character.
You like him the best?
I think I like him the best. But I like all the characters.
More than Joe?
There's more than what?
Joe.
Joe's the girl. I like Joe, but
I like Joe a lot.
I mean, all the characters are good. It's one of those shows. There's not a character in that show that I feel like doesn't belong in the show.
Yeah.
They're not like, I may like some of them more, but the show wouldn't be the same.
Right. That's true.
Without them.
Yeah. Yeah, said it's a bro thing.
It's not really Benny Hill British. Not quite that slapsticky or more misogynisticky, but it is there's some ties, I guess. I don't know. I used to watch Benny Hill as a child when I get away with it. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Dee knows Greg Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg Davies is the main actor.
Andy, have you watched The Cleaner?
Oh my God.
The Cleaner was
That's
amazing.
the more recent shit. That is hilarious too. The dude is like, he's a crime scene cleaner. Every show, he's at a different crime scene, but that's not really what it's about.
It really is nothing to do with that.
It is a very lighthearted yet sometimes very deep show. It'll make you think and also make you laugh.
Yeah.
Dinner for One. I don't know that one.
Agatha Christie's detective. To be honest, said that if you skipped her.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
What's the name of the show again? Man Down is the older show that we're currently watching, and The Cleaner is a newer show that we've already completed.
And they're British, so there's only like 5 or 6, 7 episodes in a season.
Yeah.
So
I think The Cleaner only had 1 or 2 seasons. And Man Down has 4.
wow, your aunt would date him.
Huh.
I'd date him.
He's very tall.
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
He is a very big man, not like
hilarious.
heavy, but he's a big giant man. Yes, he is. It's just but it's just like, oh my gosh. That episode, like 2 episodes ago, where it was kind of poking fun at like societal stuff, but also being empathetic. It was just like it just hit just right.
Why did we start watching The Cleaner? Did we watch it because it said crime scene?
Because
and I was like, oh,
I was just going through the BritBox shows looking for things that looked interesting, and that popped up as both a comedy and crime scene.
Okay.
And it looked strange.
Yeah, so we were like, let's try this.
I like to roll the dice with those kind of shows because sometimes they're like, I don't get that. I don't ever want to watch that again. But sometimes you hit a home run.
Yeah.
And I've hit a lot of home runs on BritBox. So
let's see. Andy said he's on Graham Norton pretty
regularly.
Okay.
Yep. I like Graham Norton.
Anita says we stumbled onto the series Moonlighting the other day. It was kind of fun to watch.
Like the old series with Bruce Willis, Moonlighting?
What's that on, Anita?
Or is it a different show? Darian, I have not seen Dinner for One. I'm not even familiar with it, but I will look for it to see what it is. Is it like a BBC thing, Dinner for One? Anita says, yep. But I'm not sure what she's saying yep to.
You asked her if that was the old show.
Oh, the old show. Okay. I know that if it's that one, that was like really popular when it was airing. I know that.
The older one is on Tubi. Okay.
I think I watched a few episodes of it when it was like first out. But I haven't seen it in a long time.
Let's see. Viviana says I just added both to my playlist.
Yeah.
Cool.
A butler struggles to help his employer celebrate her 90th birthday, but acting out the parts of her dear departed drinking friends at an annual dinner party. The ensuing mishaps provide unpredictability. Oh, that does sound entertaining. Funny results. I will have to look for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite shows of all time, comedy-wise, and maybe just in general, are British shows like Red Dwarf, Blackadder. Rick Mayall was in early episodes of Man Down, but he died during that production, way too young. But he was in the old series of Young Ones. It was on MTV. I was a big fan of that.
Darian says Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. I was a big Doctor Who fan. I still like Doctor.
That's not on BritBox, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I thought we were going to watch it and then it wasn't there anymore.
Oh, they may have taken it off, but it was on there. Okay. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, but I haven't kept up with it.
I'd like to watch Doctor Who. I've wanted to watch Doctor Who for years and it just never happens.
It's hard because there's so much to watch.
I know.
Like that show goes back to the 60s.
Yeah. We've gotten through other shows that have a lot of episodes.
Yeah. I like Doctor Who. I was a Doctor Who fan before Doctor Who was cool in the United States.
I know.
I have my Tom Baker scarf right out there. And my little canine statue. That's all old school Doctor Who though.
Les says not Brit, but Car 54. Where are you?
I know that show. I haven't really watched it. I don't think. Maybe when I was a kid, I saw that show.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear her huff at me?
Yeah, I did. Probably woke her up.
Oh, I was gonna go put her back.
Les, who's your favorite doctor? Or anybody else can answer that too. Daleks. Yes, Daleks are great. Well, actually, they're terrible, evil, horrible things, but they're great in that capacity. But who's your favorite doctor? I've been watching Good Omens with David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen. I haven't seen that, but I am a fan of David Tennant. See, that's the problem. We started watching Doctor Who, but you wanted to start at the beginning, and I wouldn't let you start with the first two doctors. So we started with the third one.
Did we start watching it?
Yeah, barely. He's the one that's stranded on Earth, and he has the car. He's got long, puffy, curly hair, but it's white. It's not Tom Baker.
Okay.
Patrick Troughton, I think. I think that's Patrick. No, Patrick Troughton's the second Doctor. What's his name? I used to know all that. Oh, Tom Baker. That's Les's favorite Doctor. Yeah, Tom Baker's my favorite Doctor. Viviana, I'm on season 13 of Classic Doctor Who. Which is your favorite Doctor? Yes, my favorite Doctor is Tom Baker. Fourth Doctor, all day, all night, forever. But I am also a big fan of Peter Davidson's Doctor, which is the fifth Doctor. I am also a huge fan of Sylvester McCoy, who is the seventh Doctor. I believe he's the seventh Doctor. And then I've liked most of the Doctors, so I'm not saying I don't like the other. And then David Tennant, definitely. Matt Smith, yes, enjoyed him quite a bit. Those are probably my favorite Doctors. The only Doctor I don't really like, I don't dislike him, but I just can't watch him, is the first Doctor. Just because that's like, it's just a different, the show was different. He was just way too serious. And it was much, much more of a kid show. David Tennant is Viviana's favorite Doctor. David Tennant or Matt Smith will probably be your favorite Doctors.
Okay.
Because if you didn't start watching Doctor Who before the new Doctor Who's started coming out, then David Tennant, like the first Christopher Eccleston was the first Doctor Who that came out when the show restarted. And he was fine, but David Tennant felt like Doctor Who. Like, because Christopher Eccleston was a little too serious. David Tennant had that quirkiness. Matt Smith kind of has that too, though. But I think
You think you know my type?
I do. I mean, David Tennant is Scottish, so yeah. I think it'll be one of those two, because I think it'll be one of the new Doctors. I mean, you'll like Tom Baker. I think you'll like Tom Baker, and probably Sylvester. You'll probably like the same Doctors I like, most likely. But I think because if you come to the show now, I think you'll be more inclined to like the newer Doctors.
Okay.
Just because
we'll find out.
The effects, everything was different in the 70s, 80s. So if you were watching it then, that was the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, oh, look at the more advanced effects, acting, writing, and everything. Although I will say, like, some of my favorite Doctor Who episodes were written by Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy guy. And those were Tom Baker episodes, most of those, maybe all of them.
Yeah.
Especially the Pirate Planet. I'm a big fan of the Pirate Planet. That was a Douglas Adams episode. Yeah.
Les wants a TARDIS.
I have a toy TARDIS somewhere. I met the actor that did K-9's voice. I met the actor that played Sergeant Benton. And I met the actress who played Ace on the old Doctor Who's at a Doctor Who
Good
convention.
night, Anita. Good night, Ed.
Good night. Sophie Aldridge was Ace. You'll probably like her too. She's pretty cool.
Okay.
And Sylvester McCoy is the other wizard in The Lord of the Rings. So remember the lizard that the lizard. Remember the wizard that like helps all the animals and stuff? Radagast, the brown. That is Sylvester McCoy.
Oh, okay.
He was the last Doctor of the classic Doctor Who's.
Are you surprised I knew his name?
No, not really. Before the
Did you know that today is J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday?
Yes, because it was on my Microsoft Edge thing.
Okay.
But did you know?
I did know that.
Because of that?
Yes. So I said that to Simone today, and
oh, there you go. 26 seasons of classic Doctor Who on BritBox. The new Doctor is on Disney Plus.
Oh, well, we have all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I said something about it being his birthday today to Simone, and she said, she made a comment. I said, well, it's on the computer. She's like, I said, I don't just know that. And she said, well, I don't know. It's something you might know. Like, I don't know when people's birthdays are.
Viviana, I'm also a huge fan of Adric, which if you've gotten to Peter Davidson, you've seen him. And I'm a big fan of Tegan. I don't know if you've met her yet. She's one of the companions. And if you've gotten through Tom Baker, one of my favorites of all time is the second Romana, who was married to Richard Dawkins for many years and narrates many of his books. So all of my worlds connect.
I only remember birthdays when they pop up on Facebook. Stacy said. The only birthdays that I really remember are the ones that I have to remember. My mom's, my grandma's, my dad's, Matt's, mine. I know Viviana's as well.
Do you say that because she's watching?
I'm saying that because she's watching, but I also know it.
Well, look, it's past our time now.
I know.
So we should go because we're just rambling
We're just
anyway.
talking about things.
But good hanging out with everybody. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate that. We enjoy hanging out with you guys. And
I also know my aunt's birthday. Sorry, she's also in here.
Covered.
Yeah, we're good. Not at all.
But seriously, guys, we do Happy New Year to everybody. We really do love that you guys hang out with us on these Friday nights. We really enjoy it and hope to continue doing it. We will be on next Friday, hopefully with Sea Dazed, and maybe we'll be talking about the group cruise or whatever. We'll be talking. We'll be hanging out.
Yeah.
So we hope you'll hang out with us. And until then, have a great week.
Oh, before you go, what were those passwords again? Have a good night, Les.